It's another LUKE-N-SHAE'S production. And as always, we ask you to like, share, subscribe, and comment. And be sure to turn on your notifications when you know that we're dropping another hot banger video straight off the press. What it do, people? What it do? This is Luke. I'm back in that studio once again, making some more hot banger videos. How are you doing, my YouTube people? Oh, and the YouTube and the the LUKE-N-SHAE'S family. How's everyone doing? I hope everyone's doing fine. And those of you who are new to the LUKE-N-SHAE'S podcast, by all means, you can become a family member. We would like to extend a warm LUKE-N-SHAE'S welcome so that you can join us by just, going down to the bottom there and clicking on that subscription button. Go ahead and subscribe. It's absolutely free. And become a member of the family. We love you here. We love our family, and we love those that are tuned in. The ones who have already subscribed, you are always welcome. We appreciate you. We love you. We thank you for your support. We definitely need it and definitely want it and love it. And we don't just stop there, people. Please subscribe and put us out there. Let people know about the podcast. The more people know, the better product we can put out there for you as well. And again, like I said, this is Luke of the LUKE-N-SHAE'S podcast. Let me get my stuff up here. How's everyone doing? Yeah, I've been away for a minute working on some stuff. I got a special assignment I'm working on, getting to the bottom of these relationship things, because what my focus is to get people better and to bring family back together. As a spiritual man, I want to bring families back together, and we got to do the things that are needed to get the families back together. So that's what we're going to focus on today and focus on this particular show. Today we're going to talk about divorce. Although that's not keeping people together, divorce is important because it's a big part of what's going on. Tim Blankenship and Patty Handy is Tim is a lawyer, a divorce lawyer, and Patty Handy, she is she's a female life coach. So we're going to listen to what they have to say. And like I said, I've often told my podcast mate, my co-host here, there's nothing in marriage for men. You'll hear me say that a lot, because this is the basis of it. To understand what I'm actually saying, I think they'll reach that point with this conversation here. So we're going to jump right into this, and because like I said, it's tough out here today because things have changed, and most importantly, the woman has changed. She has changed a great deal because she's now allowed to work, and so the things that men used to do, like being providing and protecting, those things are not, to them, are less needed and less respected. So I think that was the biggest part of the change in relationship that we had, from the 50s, 50s, 60s, all the way up until today. This is the drastic changes has undergone here. So we're gonna, like I said, that's one of the main things that we're having issues with, is that right there. I think there's not a bunch of respect for the man today, for him going out here and providing and taking care and doing the things he needs to do. So, like I said, we're going to jump right in this because most women are working too, and women make the same amount that a man makes. So that's important as well. And so, yeah, that kind of takes away from them being the ladies or the women that you would need today to be in a relationship. But we're gonna listen to the professionals talk about it and see what they say. Let's see how they come out of this, because yeah, like I said, I'm going to stop right there. We're having some technical difficulties here, trying to get this thing started. But give me a second here to actually get it going here. Yep. So, like I said, it's just building off of the relationship and understanding the reason that, people are getting divorced and who's the leading in getting a divorce. That's important as well, is understand who's getting a divorce, because that plays a major part in whether or not you stay together. But like I say, the man breaks it down to saying, because he's a lawyer, that the majority of, I think he said 90%, originally 90% of women come in and initiate the divorce. So we're going to jump right into this and see how it works out here. See what it do. See if it do what it do, actually.
Hi, Tim Blankenship here with Divorce661.com, specializing in California divorce. And we're sitting here with Patty Handy today, who has written a book about 50 ways to flourish after divorce. We've done a series of videos today. She's also a mortgage broker, a life coach. She's got a lot going on in her life. And we were just sitting here talking off camera, and I had asked her, I said, I wanted to ask you as a life coach perspective. I said, hey, 80 to 90% of our clients who come to us to initiate divorce are women. And I've never understood why that may be. And I never asked our clients, why are you filing for divorce? I never want to open that door. But the ones who do decide to bring that up, at the outset, will say something about them not being happy. It's not, we all know there's infidelity and stuff like that, but a lot of these women are just not happy. They can't really put their finger on it. It's more of, he's a great provider, he's a great husband, he's a great father, but I'm just not happy. And they're filing for divorce. They're going to make this big step to go through divorce, and divorce is so rampant. I can't believe how many cases we handle on a monthly basis.
It's sad, yeah.
So I thought you may know what, in being a woman and life coach and just dealing with people, do you have anything to add to that? What do you think that might be?
Well, I'm also divorced,
Before I let her get started here, I want to say, he said some interesting things. He said 90% of his clients that initiate divorces are women. And keep this in mind. Keep this percentage in mind, because it's so important and vital when we talk about what's in it for a man today. What's in marriage for a man today. Keep that in mind, because he says 90% of women initiate the divorce. That percentage is very important. Tim also mentioned the majority of them are not based off of, he said, he mentions infidelity, but he said the majority is the woman is just not happy, which I found very interesting, that he said the women were just not happy in these relationships, which I find that, like I said, it is what it is out here today, and getting out here, getting married. And he also mentioned that they really can't put a finger on why they're not happy. And this is the disturbing part, because they're saying, okay, most of the women that come in, even when I talk to women, they say that he's a great husband, he's an awesome provider, a great father, but she's just not happy, see? And that's a big part of it. So, like I said, being responsible for someone's happiness is I mean, that's actually too much. I can't, we can't maintain happiness all throughout a marriage or a relationship. That's, I don't want to say it is virtually impossible, but it is what it is. And Tim mentioned he's handling a lot of divorces. So that tells us also as men, divorce is good business. See, so I mean, he's making money. He's saying that the majority of them that comes into his office for divorce are women, and it's a lot. It's not a small number. So again, like I say, it's not a lot in it for a man because I, as a man or any other man, can't maintain anybody's happiness over the course of a relationship or a marriage. And so the odds of this person growing unhappy at some point in the relationship and leaving, the rates are higher today. So let's get back and listen to what she has to say and see what she has to say as to the reason why women are divorcing men, or better yet, why women are not happy. Let's listen.
So coming from that perspective, this wasn't my personal situation, but I see a lot of women. It's almost a midlife crisis situation. They're age 40 to 50 years old. Kids are getting a little bit older, late teens, mid to late teens. They're just not happy with life the way it is, and they've grown apart from the spouse. I think. As in any relationship, what you put in, you get out, and the time with kids and work and the pulls that we have in our lives, it's hard to maintain that happy marriage, and it takes a lot of effort. And I think that's just not happening as much as it should be out there. There isn't the dedicated time. Maybe the husband isn't, bringing home the flowers and bringing the love notes, or scheduling the weekend away or the dinner dates once a week. I'm not a psychologist, but just working from a coaching perspective and seeing what I've seen, if a couple was consistently spending time together and, making that time for the once a week dinner date, whether it's in the house or out of the house, just to talk about things other than the kids and work, right? They're just themselves. But kind of coming full circle to your question, I think that midlife crisis is a true experience.
I wanted to notice that when she mentioned flowers, dinner date, and weekend getaways, she put that down there. She said flower, dinner dates. She said relationships are hard work, but as always, she put the blunt of it on the man. It's always the man's fault. Always the man's fault. Men have to carry the relationship, basically. And it starts with dating. When you hear women discussing who should pay for dinner, see, or better yet, pay for the dates, you will notice a pattern. And that pattern here is how these women operate in their expectations in a relationship. And they have, when it comes to dealing with men, and this is the pattern that they have when dealing with these men, with us as men. once you pedestalize a woman, once you pedestalize that woman, there's not going to be, you can't go back. There's no turning back. You can't go back and you can't stop. You got to continue to do this. You got to continue to pedestalize her. But here's the thing. You got to take your pedestalizing up to the next level just to keep her happy. And then she touches on the midlife crisis in which men and women suffer from it. But let's listen on and see what she has to say a little bit more about it. And I can go into, then I'll give my points on it.
Experience. I mean, it happens in men. And I do see it in women where they just don't feel like they're happy, and that there should be more to this marriage, and there is more.
I'll stop it right there. For some reason we lost volume. I don't know what the heck happened there, but we're gonna see if we can get it back and maybe rewind it a little bit. Let me see, because I wanted to hear what she had to say there. For some reason we lost volume. I'm gonna bring it back and see if we can. Here we go. Nope, we still lost volume. Yes. I guess it's not working. I guess we'll stop it right there. We'll stop it right there. We'll stop the video right there. For some reason, we lost volume with the video. I don't know what's going on with that. But as you can see, like I said, once you get into pedestalizing a woman, you can't stop. You have to continue to, actually, it has to grow. It has to get better. And in the midlife crisis, when she was talking about things, when a person is getting unhappy, okay, when a person gets unhappy and goes through these things, because, you know, I know midlife crisis, most men go get motorcycles or they'll go get something, you know, just to reaffirm their youngness or to be able, you know, to still feel relevant. And men do it, but we do it in a different way. We don't necessarily look at it for happiness all the time. We just begin to search the things that we done or look back at the stuff we done and see, you know, what it is that we could do or we can have better, or but we don't never make, you know, monumental decisions based off of it, because we understand we're going to age and get to a point. So it's more about dealing with age. I know with men, but I was just, the midlife crisis thing to me always to me just came up with that the Will Smith Jada Pinkett thing. And let me see, I was gonna see if I see if I can get it up here. But the Will Smith and Jada Pinkett thing I thought was interesting, because that's what you might want to consider a midlife crisis type deal right there. Let me see. Okay, let me go here. Okay, let's.
What was your hardest time in our marriage?
I think the turning point in our relationship for me happened when I turned 40. Mm-hmm. That's when I had a midlife crisis.
The life coach talks about relationships being hard work, and the man needs to buy flowers and take his wife on dinner dates. I want you to pay attention to this.
Yeah, your 40th birthday was my low point. The day after her 37th birthday, I hired a team to orchestrate her 40th birthday. I had hired a documentary team. I traced mommy's family roots. Her 40th birthday was going to be my thing.
It was going to be a splash.
It was going to be a splash. Mary J. Blige performed. I debuted the film, all of that. It was going to be the thing that lifted her out of this midlife crisis. And it was going to be my deepest, most beautiful proclamation of love. And we did it.
Will Smith is working hard. On this Red Table Talk, his efforts to please Jada and get her validation is deemed selfish. But damn, Mary J. Blige performing at your birthday party, including other things, is not your everyday birthday present. This next clip is disturbing.
And she's told me that the party was the most ridiculous display of my ego.
See?
Aren't you tired of the hotel seminars where some guru invites you to a hotel claiming
crushed, right? And to this day, I know I was crushed because it was true.
Yeah.
This proves that it doesn't matter what Will does. He can never make Jada happy. It's impossible. When you
And see, that's what I was referring to earlier, because you're putting the burden of keeping a person's happiness, keeping a person feeling relevant as important. And for you to leave your husband or to divorce your husband because he was unable to do this, which no one is able to do. And so if you're reckoning or getting into these relationships or going into marriage, these are some of the things that you really have to really consider, really sit down and consider and understand what it is that you're getting yourself into and what it's going to take to maintain that person throughout the duration of that relationship or that marriage. And so these things are important. And as Will Smith is saying, he did all of these things for Jada's 40th birthday, only to basically get slapped down like it was nothing. Because he done pedestalized her in the highest. See, there's nothing he can do now that could make her happy. Nothing.
when you do something for your wife, of course, you need to get some form of gratification out of it.
Yes, that's
Women complaining about men not approaching them or not taking them on dinner dates fail to realize that it might not be a fun experience for men to do these things, especially when it's not appreciated by the woman.
And what he touched on is exact. That's the point, because it's not appreciated by the woman. And on top of that, can you maintain and level up each time? The next time when you pedestalizing her, can you level up to the next level? And where is it that she's going to ball out at and just say, well, that no longer, none of this can make me happy. And so she begins to look for happiness in other places because she can't seem to find happiness in you because you've done all you can do. There's no more you can do. And so at what point does a woman come to saying, well, I'm going to just deal with this from this level here and just do this? But like I say, I remember Geno Jennings, a pastor Geno Jennings, said one time he was talking about his wife, and he referred to the chasing of his wife. And he was like, he would never chase a woman or something to that nature. I'm not quoting him verbatim, but he said something about not chasing a woman because if you chase her, she will always be running, meaning she will be looking for a level up. And so he said he never went into it with that mindset. So my suggestion would be with the same thing, that same mindset, to go into relationships not doing anything too special or that special, because see, at the end of the day, you can't maintain that happiness. You cannot maintain leveling up on that level. And so it wouldn't be wise to go into that relationship trying to continue to do these things.
And most men get rejected every time they try. If you want special treatment, you will have to be special to a man. This is Will Smith. It's expected that he does a little extra for his wife's 40th birthday instead of just giving Jada some flowers. It's not just about flowers and dinner dates. And that takes me to the next point.
But it's you know what, I think we all want to be, and I think this goes for men or women, we just want to feel appreciated, we want to feel loved, we want to feel that we still mean something to that person. Mm-hmm. And I'm guilty too. We all get caught up in life. We're busy, we're working, we're trying to pay our bills, we're trying to make a living, we're trying to raise our kids, and we all have a lot on our plates, right? Mm-hmm. And the thing that usually goes first is, okay, well, I know my wife loves me, my husband loves me, I don't need to show them all the time, but
they'll even say that. I love my husband, but I'm not happy.
It's not that Jada doesn't love Will, but she's unhappy with the role that she has to play in the relationship. She gets special treatment from Will, however, she doesn't feel important. And she explains this herself after she had her entanglement with the friend of the family.
I think that has a lot to do with my codependency. which is another thing that I had to learn to break in this cycle. Just that idea of needing to fix and being drawn to people that need help, whether it's your health or whether it's your addictions. There's something about that childhood trauma that feels as though it can be fixed through fixing people.
August is exactly the opposite of Will. Will doesn't need Jada to take care of him. And Will Smith is a happy person. And if you are unhappy, someone that is happy can be very annoying.
And that's what I wanted to touch on right there. It sounded like one was happy and the other one was unhappy. But at the same time, the one that was unhappy wanted the other one to feel just as unhappy as she was. And so I think that's a big part of what happened here and understanding this relationship. Because you know how the people used to say misery love company? Those things are true. Those are exactly true. Misery do love company. Your friends that see you happy are not necessarily always going to be happy that you're happy when they're not happy. If they're not in the same thing, and I'm not saying all friends, I'm saying some people have a tough time dealing with other people's happiness when they don't have that happiness themselves. And it's important to have it because, like I said, that's the mindset of sometimes. But like I said, in this case right here, she's now putting it on the fact that her unhappiness and where she just said, well, I was, out here helping other people and sometimes helping other people and this and that, give you a whole bunch of, I don't call it baby babble, but just that type of stuff. And to explain your going outside of your husband and doing inappropriate things with other people, with August Alistina's.
Especially to women. Check this out.
What is really hard about being single for me personally is seeing other people in incredible relationships.
In capital letters, I hate being the only single friend. It is a load of crap.
When I was single, that can be something that can really affect you if you hang around a lot of people that are in relationships.
It's like a double-edged sword. Because you see them in great relationships and you're like, that makes me so happy. That means there are good people out there, there are good men out there, all that stuff. But at the same time, it's like, but they have them and I don't.
And then I wrote in lowercase letters because I don't care about life. Can you, just the letter U, not even the word, not even stay away from your other half for one
Well, this is all proof.
Like, geez, you have friends too. That is so salty. Oh my gosh, what is wrong with me?
How much proof do you need?
That's it.
This is the problem with women. What they want is paradoxical. That's why I'm not concerned with the theories of the midlife crisis. It's the numbers. He said 90% of his clients that file for divorce are women. Midlife crisis or not, most women will be unhappy at a certain point and will file for divorce in Western society.
See, and that's what I was touching on. Because when we say that there's nothing in it for marriage for a man today, this is what we mean. And that's what we try to allocate, we try to educate, we try to push. We ain't saying that you shouldn't get married. That's not the goal. Because, see, like I said, my goal when I started the podcast was how to keep family, bring family back. Because the Bible in itself talks about the importance of family, the importance of keeping your family together. That's why God tell you he hates divorce. See, he says he hates divorce. He don't dislike it, he hates it. So when you understand these things and you understand that and understand the importance of family, we're about keeping family together. But we got to be realistic if I'm a man out here looking for a wife and knowing that I cannot maintain her happiness. And I have to find a woman that doesn't, or that will make the sacrifices, or that will be willing to do the things that you have to do to keep your family together. And it's not always going to be happy because Patty Handy said earlier, that relationships are hard work. And the blunt of it is put on the man because he's there to try to maintain another person's happiness. And that happiness can't always be maintained. I'm not going to tell you that every time, you know, a man is always happy. But see, we deal with our unhappiness in different ways because we have a realistic perspective. We often look at things from a reality point, not from a fantasy point. So we're not expecting. That's why they tell you most of the time, even when you go with kids, boys are simple. See, men generally are simple. We don't have a whole bunch of things we want. There's not a whole bunch of things we got to have. And we don't have a problem making sacrifices for the things that we're not getting. We don't necessarily, not saying some of the things, but some of the things that we can, you know, we would just overlook or just move on to the next thing. Where that woman has to have all of these things to maintain her happiness that you can't always maintain. So we're just saying, take a realistic approach to marriage. Look at it from all sides. Look at it from the side of the man, side of the woman. Understand it from all sides before you jump in, and understand the type of woman that you have. Will she or will she work with you? Will she make sacrifices? Will she be considerate of the things that you do? Will she respect the things that you do, and even the little things? Because see, you have to find that, because if you don't find that, you'll be running all day long trying to make a person happy, and that person can still leave you. But let's listen on.
It's part of female nature. It doesn't matter how much money you have. Bill Gates, it doesn't matter how good you treat her.
I just think we're wired a little bit different, or our maybe a man's approach to what providing and caring is totally different. Different meaning to a woman.
Yeah, you're on to that for sure. We are wired differently. We do absolutely differently, think differently. What you think is a really sweet thing may not be what I think it's a sweet thing, or your wife. We're all wired differently. But the critical thing here, and this goes both ways, is communication. Mm-hmm. If the wife wants.
Back in the day, all a man had to do was go to work, provide, and protect. See, that's no longer respected or honored. See, and so she just said we are wired differently. What we think is something special, him going to work and working hard for his family and providing for his family and coming home and being a protector, these things you might not necessarily think was special. See, let's listen on.
Wants to go to the beach, she should say, honey, can we go to the beach? I really want just a time for a couple hours with you at the beach. Can we do that? If you say no, then that's a problem. But she's done her part in communicating that with you, right?
Ba-bum.
Exactly. When a woman has to tell you that she wants to go to the beach and you take her, it destroys her experience. Direct communication drives her punani up. That's why women don't approach guys. They will give you signals that she wants to be approached, but she's not going to make the move. And this continues in the relationship. The shady form of communication where you as a man has to figure out what your woman wants doesn't stop. She's not here to cooperate with you. I'm unhappy. It's your fault. Do something about it. Aren't we supposed to be in this together? For better or worse?
So having that communication both ways is really important.
Yeah, it's for a man, providing and being there for us, at least for me, I think in the general public, for a man, is working hard, the security, bringing home money, and moving the family forward. And that, for me, I thought was enough.
And that goes back to, I don't mean this in a bad way.
Hunter-gatherer.
That,
right?
exactly. That goes back to the caveman,
See, he said it. And she said, goes back to the caveman. Understand what's being said here. What he just said was providing and protecting used to be enough. I wonder why it's not enough today. Maybe because we got, the woman is working. She makes the same amount a man makes. She does basically the same thing. So now she don't view those things the same. Could it be that? Do you think that's what it is? I think it might be that she no longer sees it the same. A man going out here doing this job and making sure you got a roof over your head, the kids got food on them, and food on the table, that's not as important as it used to be. It was very important back in the 50s and 60s, and that's what kept relationships together And that's what kept marriages together. That's why they had a low divorce rate, a high marriage rate, because they actually needed each other. Let's listen on.
So I will bring you the, here's your goat, or whatever it was, but this
welcome.
This is, I mean, it's all about success. It's all about, I'm going to provide for you. I'm going to give to you. And that is wonderful. We do like that. But we also.
When did that not become enough?
See, interesting question. We're going to end that right there. When did that not become enough? See? Something to think about. Something to seriously consider. Because it's funny that today, that's not enough. That is not enough. No longer is that what is needed to maintain a relationship, your family. That's not enough. It's not enough to do these things anymore. And this is no longer the thing that makes a woman happy or keep her happy. So, like I said, we're going to wrap it up. I ran a little bit long here. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Those of you who are part of the LUKE-N-SHAE'S Place family, we thank you for participating. We love you guys. We thank you for those who subscribed. We love you and we definitely appreciate you. And to our new family members, we're welcoming you in. If you're new to the podcast and you want to become a family member of the LUKE-N-SHAE'S Place family, by all means, hit that subscribe button and join the family. It's absolutely free. You become a part of the member of the family, and we love you. We love our family. We are so close as a family. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys, and definitely, you know how we do in family. We love each other. So at the same time, and don't stop there. Be sure to tell a friend about the podcast. It's important to get it out that everyone knows because it puts us in the algorithm. And don't forget to like and share, like and share, like and share. Where's the like and share button? We need to get that like and share button. Hit the like and share. Subscribe. Do us a big favor. Hit the like button. Subscribe. It's important to get us out there in the algorithm. And again, once again, this is Luke. This is the Luke Spots Are Hot, a part of the LUKE-N-SHAE'S Place production. We thank you for joining me. I thank you for sitting down with me, giving me a little bit of your time, and join me again the next time. And again, as I say, stay safe out here in these streets. Be careful, look, pay attention, ask questions. Make sure you do what you got to do. Keep God first. Stay blessed.